Hi everyone, it's Ardith. Thanks for stopping by. Today I've got a set of one-layer thank you cards that I made for my son to send out after his birthday. I made one of them very basic, and then I stepped the rest up with one simple step to give them a bit more punch. I started by cutting 4 pieces of Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock to 5 by 7 inches, and I scored them at 3.5 inches, but I didn't fold them quite yet. I did my stamping in my original sized MISTI, and making multiple cards is exactly where the MISTI shines. It makes it so fast and easy to stamp as many cards as you want and get all your images in the same place. I used Gina K Amalgam ink in jet black because I knew I would be coloring this plain red. Did I mention that my son's a pilot? He has his private pilot's license and is working towards his commercial license. To keep it interesting, he's been taking some aerobatic lessons in a little red biplane, a bit like this one. Even though I had my MISTI horizontal for stamp placement, I like to have it vertical for the actual stamping. And you can see how quickly it goes to stamp the image on 4 cards. When I had the plane done, I positioned the banner and stamped it on all 4 cards as well. And back to my son. The aerobatic moves he's doing are things like loops and flips, and I'm sure I don't have the names quite right. Some of them require that you stall the plane, like on purpose, and then restart it. Did I mention that I haven't been out to watch him do this? He's hoping to enter a show sometime in the fall, so I guess maybe I'll see it then. With my eyes closed, of course. You know, it's amazing to see your kids do incredible things like this, but man, I'm always happy when his feet are back on the ground. You know what I mean? Anyway, finally I stamped the little thanks sentiment onto the banner 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Next, I used full back sticky notes and I cut masks for the plane and banner as well as the 3 clouds. These are all included in the coordinating die set. I used 4 sticky notes to cut 4 masks at once, using my Gemini Junior. I used the stamping as a guide to place the masks for the plane and banner, and then I just kind of placed the clouds around the scene, just making sure that the flat bottoms were straight on my card. And there's a smudge from my fingers, but that's no biggie. I just used my sand eraser to get rid of that. And that area is about to be ink blended anyway. To create an easy, no-measure frame around my sky scene, I used 1/2-inch purple tape and I just placed it around the 4 sides of the card front. For my ink blending, I put a piece of scrap paper over the back of the card to protect it so that I wouldn't have any blending mistakes. I find that temporary adhesive works well for this. Then I used life-changing blender brushes and Catherine Pooler Designs inks in Fiesta Blue to start, and then suede shoes to add some depth. I didn't worry at all about getting a good blend here. These inks smooth out a bit as they dry, and I think a little texture looks good in a sky. Then I removed all the masks. Even the purple tape is really acting as a mask on this one, and I revealed my scene before coloring the plane with Copic markers. I kept the coloring very simple because even though this is 110-pound cardstock, Copics can bleed through and I wanted to keep that to a minimum. I color on a pad of recycled newsprint. It's important to have something absorbent behind your Copic coloring. So that was the end of the first card, but then I thought, hey, I can be like my friend Carly and kick that sky up a notch really easily with some Nuvo Glimmer paste. I used Moonstone, which is clear with a pretty sparkle in it, and I used one of the Nuvo media spatulas to get the glimmer paste out and spread it over the masked area of card number 2. Now the key to this stuff, especially in a hot Toronto summer, is to keep moving and get it all done before it starts to dry. This was a fairly small area, so it wasn't difficult to do that. I had the 3 remaining cards all stamped, colored, and masked so that I could quickly go through them with the glimmer paste, but I did need to remove the masks on each one before starting the next, just so they didn't dry and get stuck. I needed a tool for that one little cloud that didn't have any bits hanging over the wet edges, but it was easy enough with my Tonic craft pick. And then I just set the card aside to dry, and I moved on to the next card. Nothing else was needed for these little thank yous. It was a fast and easy process to get 4 cranked out in about an hour. Here's a photo with the one non-sparkly card on the left and the other 3 on the right. Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up below and subscribe to this channel for more inspiration. Product links are below in the description and also on my blog. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.